Hello, dear friends. If you caught the last video, I highlighted the importance of designating February as Heart Month. Specifically, we discussed how Valentine's Day enhanced cardiac function through the concept of love as medicine. This global celebration, focusing on the appreciation of those we care for, can actually strengthen our heart in two ways. First, there's the connection to our cardiovascular health and thriving relationships. Second, there's a neurobiology of this love emotion that actually shifts our emotions for the better and actually positively benefits our physiology. So, similar to how love impacts our mood through influencing our neurobiology and our emotional brain, essential oils do the same thing. Therefore, these precious aromatic molecules can actually stimulate love, benefiting our cardiovascular health as well. Essential oils can aid the heart through their ability to provide mind, body, soul, and stress relief and their biochemical properties. So, for example, the molecules within essential oils can act as antioxidants. They can be anti-inflammatory agents, promote circulatory flow, mediate neurotransmitters and hormones, boost immune response, and basically, because they interact with our cellular receptors, influence almost all of our physiology, if not all of it. So what I want to do is, because I went through an overview in the last video, and I'll have the link to that in the video description if you missed it, I want to go over 6 specific single essential oils that I use in my practice to help support integrative cardiovascular care. And then I'll also go over 2 blends, which combine a synergy of some of these most used essential oils for heart health and also support other aspects of our physiology as well. Considering that heart disease is still the leading cause of death in America and globally, essential oils I feel are an important holistic remedy that's easily accessible for most people, safe to use if used properly, that can strengthen our beloved organ and act as a preventative. And they act holistically, right? They're acting on the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to, as always, post the references to the articles that I mentioned or the studies in the resource section and also within the accompanying blog to this video. So you can dive into those if you want more information. All right, now let's talk about the 6 essential oils that I use the most to support cardiovascular care for my clients in my practice. The first is Ylang Ylang oil. And Ylang Ylang oil was actually made famous by the perfume industry because of its enticing aroma. It's actually one of my favorite smells. I use it as a perfume every day. It's not only a romantic olfactory experience, it actually enhances social connection because of how it calms the mind and the body, but it also supports the physical heart. Clinical trials have found that ylang ylang can help to balance blood pressure, soothe stress and anxiety, and calm nervous system tone. Now, the second oil that I use a lot for cardiovascular care is frankincense. Specifically, if it's stress related, I like to use sacred frankincense. It's one of my favorite for balancing the mind and the body. And frankincense in general, no matter what species you're using, has very powerful effects and they have multifaceted uses because of the different compounds that are within them that are so potent. Sacred frankincense is a species of frankincense that has a high pinene content. Now, pinenes are resiliency enhancing and stress relieving, what they call phytonosides, or released from trees. And that enhances people's body's defense and repair system, aka the immune system. These compounds have often been popularized due to their attribution to the benefits received from the act of forest bathing, which is a Japanese traditional practice of immersing oneself in nature. Now, altogether, the benefits of sacred frankincense results in decreasing inflammation, balancing immune response, and mitigating overwhelm. And each of these aspects are important for maintaining healthy blood flow. The third essential oil I use the most is patchouli. You either love it or you hate the smell, but either way, it's really powerful and it's a distinct aromatic experience with many benefits. Patchouli can be used to promote healthy skin, enhance defense and repair, maintain cellular health, and it offers neurological support because it does contain sesquiterpenes. Sesquiterpenes are molecules that have been found to cross the blood-brain barrier. Patchouli has been traditionally used in Chinese medicine actually for gastrointestinal health. It has various mechanisms in the Western world to explain this. So this includes providing gut microbiome support, and the microbiome is all the rage right now. There was a rodent study that showed that patchouli oil had a prebiotic effect, increasing helpful microbes and decreasing unwanted ones in the gut. And this was found via fecal samples. And along with its nervous system support, these aspects actually are important for cardiovascular care. There is, yes, a gut and a heart link because our gastrointestinal tract produces all those different signaling molecules. The fourth essential oil, just to review a little bit, so we're halfway there. We talked about ylang ylang, we talked about patchouli, and then we talked about sacred frankincense. Rosemary oil is a fourth oil. It is best known probably for aiding memory, cognition, and stimulating the nervous system. And for this reason, it's often been used for relieving low blood pressure, specifically the 1,8-senol chemotype. Rosemary actually had a small study with 20 people, and researchers sought to confirm this effect on the autonomic nervous system. That's your automatic kind of nervous system that fuels all of your body's processes that you don't have to think about. Okay. The results confirmed that the stimulatory effects of rosemary oil, and it provided supporting evidence that it actually did influence brainwave activity, autonomic nervous system activity, and mood states. So remember, if you're looking for the energizing property, you want to look at the main constituent in the essential oil because there's different quote unquote chemotypes. And these are what the main constituents are in a particular oil genus and species. So Rosemary officinalis would be CT18-senol, chemotype senol. There's other ones that aren't as stimulating that contain higher linalool. So you could look into that if you don't want the stimulatory effect. Okay, that was just a little safety tip. The fifth oil, I think, is often overlooked as a sleeper oil, but it's pretty cool. It's coriander oil, and it has a calming constituent, and it's similar to lavender. This is the linalool, and it also has the B-cystearol in it, which is something that they've studied in some preclinical and rodent studies to aid in cholesterol levels. And this oil has been described as an aphrodisiac, an analgesic, which is pain relieving and possessing antimicrobial properties. It also has antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and digestive properties and promotes circulatory flow. So all of these aspects make coriander oil a powerful ally for underlying mind-body triggers of heart issues. And you can see why it's also an oil that would be great for digestive distress related to anxiety or stress. Bergamot oil is a sixth oil. So the last three we did was rosemary, coriander, and bergamot. It's another popular essential oil I use in my practice to aid calming the minds and the bodies of my clients. Clinical studies actually have supported its overall positive role in reducing stress, alleviating cardiovascular excitement, which is important, improving nervous system tone. They've actually measured heart rate variability and saw improvements with bergamot oil, and decreasing anxiety symptoms. I actually have a table that I linked to on bergamot essential oil with 7 studies, clinical studies found on those topics. So we reviewed the single oils. Again, those are ylang ylang, sacred frankincense, patchouli, rosemary, coriander, and bergamot. And now I want to talk about 2 essential oil blends. And these can be particularly effective because you have all of these aromatics working together. And if you get your blends from a clinical aromatherapist or from a manufacturer that knows how to do this correctly, so they're not canceling each other out, there can be a synergy and more powerful because you have more molecules to hit those cellular receptors. So the first one we talked about in another video that I did on stress relief, but I also love to use it for cardiovascular health because so much of cardiovascular health is related to our mind and our body and our stress response. The stress relief blend contains lime, which is really great for elevating the mood, cedarwood, which is comforting, it's grounding, it helps support sleep and neurological health. Lavender is probably the most famous for its anxiety relief and its ability to ease the nervous system. It can also combat the detrimental effects of excess stress, shown to lower cortisol. It can be very beneficial to balance heart rate and blood pressure. Copaiba, I know it sounds like a strange oil, but it actually interacts with the endocannabinoid system, which is all the rage with CBD oil lately. It's a system that regulates most of the major functions in the body. And copaiba is relaxing to the mind. It benefits the brain, skeletal system, and because it's a regulator, it just helps regulate all of the different systems in the body to have an overall better balance. Actea is an oil that has warm, soothing scent. It has many properties. It's very diverse in its chemical compounds. Actea Axis, if I said that correctly, is known as American cinnamon. It contains cinnamaldehyde, which is very often found in cinnamon. It has some evidence for supporting blood sugar. Actually, it has some impressive evidence for supporting blood sugar. And this can be helpful during overwhelming times because blood sugar is often impacted by stressful triggers. And blood sugar, in high blood sugar specifically, is linked to heart health and heart disease. And the last thing in the stress relief blend is vanilla. It's not a true essential oil. It's more an oleo resin or an extract that you can find, but it does have preliminary evidence to elevate the mood, to be an antioxidant, to be anti-inflammatory. I personally use vanilla that's ethically sourced. I like the oleo resin for the best quality and smell. Oh, it's so good if you use it as a perfume with ylang. And then Joyful Blend is the second blend. So the stress relief blend and then Joyful Blend. So we think about joy for the heart, so it makes sense. I actually used this essential oil in a case study that I wrote up for Townsend Letter for someone that came to me with anxiety and hormonal issues. This blend is great for nervous, digestive, endocrine, and cardiovascular system. It's great for alleviating stress. I use it with most of my naturopathic medicine clients because most of them are struggling with feelings of self-love, self-care, self-worth, and it promotes more human connection to the heart. The blend itself contains bergamot, which we talked about, ylang, which we talked about, rose geranium, which offers hormonal and mood balancing properties. Lemons in there, coriander, which we talked about, is in there, tangerine. Jasmine oil helps balance the brain's electrophysiology, which helps calm stress. Roman chamomile, very relaxing to the mind and supporting overall health. Palmarosa, again, another general well-being oil. And then rose, which inspires romance, connection, joy, and healthy hormones. So as you can see, essential oils are really great allies to aid our heart. They not only inspire feelings of love and enhance our mood, but this also enhances our connection to ourselves and to others. And essential oils with their biochemical properties actually address triggers that lead to imbalances in cardiac function to begin with. We talked about the essential oils of ylang, sacred frankincense, patchouli, rosemary, coriander, bergamot, and then two blends, the stress relief blend and joyful blend, as powerful tools to support overall mind, body, heart health. I hope that you found this information useful on how to holistically care for your heart using aromatherapy. Again, an easily accessible tool. Please find quality oils and know how to use them safely. Just a little disclaimer. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn how to nourish and nurture your mind, body, and soul and heart. And I'd love to hear from you, feedback, and let me know what your favorite essential oils are for your heart health, and if you've used any of these oils and what your results are. And please, if you can, like the video, and that really helps support get the word out and share it to people that you think would benefit. Also, if you have any ideas for other topics you'd like to hear about, clinical or just in general, I'm happy to read those and help you and support you in giving you more information on that. Also, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter because I am working on that brain health program that's going to be comprehensive. If you like my work, you'll want to definitely get to be on the list because I'm going to have a limited time webinar and then introduce the program, and everybody will get something from the webinar. And then if you want to dig deeper, we will go into the program. Okay. So again, thank you so much.